Your higher self is saying that you have a fear of change that has been holding you back from truly going after these things that you want. And you've been holding yourself back out of this fear, keeping yourself in your comfort zone, and air quotes around comfort zone, because through sitting through this, you're telling yourself that where you are, convincing yourself of comfort in your current state, but you're realizing it's not truly your comfort zone. That's why you're being pulled and called towards this change within yourself. It's not truly your comfort zone. That's why you're being pulled so much. And your real comfort zone is on this opposite side of fear. You are not comfortable here. That's why you keep being pulled. Keep feeling this pull. But right here in the middle is this block, and it's this fear of change. And this fear of change is much deeper than just, oh, I'm afraid of change. It's something else. And the energy that I'm getting with it is, it's a deep-rooted fear of almost like you'd rather know you don't have it than try and have it and lose it. Where you'd rather just never ask the question, know the answer is no, than ask the question and be told no. But spirits are using me as a messenger to remind you that if you never ask the question, the answer will always be no. If you want that potential yes, you have to put yourself in the possibility of even trying. We have the Tower in reverse on the bottom of the deck. Wow. You're fighting this. You're holding this change back. And you're seeing that this change with the Tower, I love that the Tower was on the bottom of the deck, because you're kind of seeing it as like this would be a breakdown, like the Tower would be falling, versus this is a breakthrough, and where not me also splitting it with the Tower and Six of Swords in reverse. Not the Tower in reverse, but the Six of Swords in reverse. That's, whoo, oh my goodness. Six of Swords is overthinking, not really allowing yourself to properly adjust your way of thinking, being adaptable in your mind. It's being too stubborn. Interesting. We'll do one more shuffle and then we'll talk then. Okay. What is the present energy for this collective, spirits? What is the present energy for this collective? What the fuck? Hold on. I absolutely love when spirits just confirm all of the energy I just picked up on. We got Eight of Cups, and then we got Three of Swords. We got Eight of Cups and Three of Swords. Three of Swords is really about like pain, conflict, specifically when it comes to connections, emotional pain, and it really, really affects your way of thinking. Like, you don't properly see connections in the right way. Like, after this experience, you have to let go of this pain. And you're currently on a level of letting go of this pain. And maybe that's quite literally, you're realizing that this comfort zone that you've been convincing yourself of, it's not your comfort zone. Look here on the Eight of Cups, we have the boat that's leaving the cups. You're letting go, and you're moving on this new way of experiencing your own emotions and paying attention to your emotions. With more of a, I want to say a nurturing energy, but a healing energy too. What's their most recent past? It came out very sideways. Seven of Wands. So there's been some level of reevaluation, redetermination of what you want to create in your life. That's these pulls to these changes that you've been getting. You're working through a deeper understanding of what you actually want in your life, but you've been struggling to make that happen, to move forward. Because this is only 7 of Wands energy, right? And the full energy that will be ready to make something happen is moving into that knight, that queen, that king energy. If you hear my cats in the background, they're just playing around. Okay, let me move the spread here a little bit. Move my notes. What is it that they need to let go of? This lack of belief within yourself that you cannot see life differently than the way that you see it currently right now. We got Ace of Swords out. So there's a level within you that wants this new beginning, that wants to no longer be afraid of change. And this is the block. This is what you're currently being called to let go of on some level. Okay, sorry, I had to just put my cats in the room. They were being way too distracting with running around and everything. I don't know what it is with them. They will sleep and sleep and sleep, and the second that I sit down to start doing readings, they gotta go crazy. I don't know why. But anyways, this block, what you're being called to truly let go of. So with the 7 of Wands, there's this level within you that realized that being stuck in this comfort zone and convincing yourself that you are comfortable where you currently are was no longer working for you. So you're working in this level of, you're being called to work in a level, you're trying to work in a level of surrendering. Because you want this Ace of Swords, you want this new beginning in thinking. You want to believe. You want to find comfort in change. That's the energy. What are you being called to accept? 9 of Pentacles. The ability of fruition. It came in sideways. Things that are worth for your life. What are these things that are worth harvesting? Like, embrace what's been rewarding, but being mindful of where you've been living beyond your real means, or living inauthentically within terms of your own stability. So quite literally, that fear of change. Accept that in order to have new, in order to have better than what you've had in the past, you quite literally need to experience new. And holding yourself back from having that change is going to cause an instability within you no matter what, because you're going to stay stagnant. The definition of insane is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And if you want change, but you're not willing to change or accept change, you're going to drive yourself insane. Interesting. What's healing advice here? It's just some advice. That in my lap. Wow. 4 of Cups. Oh my goodness. 4 of Cups and the Sun. So we have the Sun in reverse, and then we have 4 of Cups. So with this energy, I'm getting, pay attention to these things that you're almost saying you need in life. So maybe when it comes to this change, right, these things that you want that are here, what is this one thing that you're holding yourself back saying, oh my gosh, no, I need that for everything to be perfect. Oh my gosh, no, I'm missing 20%, without realizing you already have 80% right now. You are holding yourself back from truly seeing the light, the great possibilities, the goodness of things that can truly be happening for you. And that's what you're being called to look at. With these two coming out here together too, I'm hearing a level of pessimism or unrealistic expectations that are causing some boredom. So like unrealistic expectations, the pessimism, this fear of change. Not just discontent, but I can't think of the word. There's a word. But you're just not happy. You know, it's this change, right? This pessimism in this level of this fear of change is creating a level of pessimism because, again, you were, like I said, you were convincing yourself of comfort where you're currently at, but you're actually not. So you're almost being pessimistic about certain things in your life that's causing you to be even more discontent with these areas than you would be if you were just kind of being a little bit more honest with yourself. That is the energy that I'm picking up on. If you embraced these fears a little bit more, maybe it's a fear of failure more so than a fear of change. Or it's both. It's actually both. Quite literally, yeah. It's like that instead of trying for it, it's almost feeling better not even going for it because you know, well, at least you already don't have it that way anyways, so why waste your time going after it? But that's not the bigger picture here. What the fuck? We got 10 of Pentacles? 10 of Pentacles is literally about the big picture. Everything coming together, all of those things that you want in your world. Wow, okay. What's some healing energy for this collective? This bigger picture that you're thinking of. Know that you are divinely protected. If you're being called somewhere, your soul is being called through this lesson. If you're being called towards a certain change, you are going to find yourself. That's where you get better things. But your guardian angels are going to protect you throughout this process. So even if it doesn't end up in the way that you were hoping it would or you were picturing that it would, that doesn't mean you're not going to be protected and taken care of during the whole entire process. Believe in miracles. Stop holding yourself to these limitations. Miracles literally bring about change in your life. This fear of failure, that's something too, and maybe the color green. But this fear of failure, if you believe in the power of miracles within yourself, that will naturally also begin to heal a fear of failure. Goodness. And sometimes when you focus on, you know, let's say that we'll do the miracles and fear of failure example. If you focus on letting go of your fear of failures, you're more likely to get anxiety, feel anxious, overwhelmed versus looking at believing in miracles. It's that language that your brain will start to focus on. And if you start to focus on the positive language a little bit more than the negative language, your brain will start to put out that positive energy and the universe will listen back to it. That's part of the level of manifestation, law of attraction. What's this outcome if they choose to heal, to believe in these goodness things for themselves? Oh my goodness, you'll actually begin to receive. Can I get a little bit more on this one, spirits? Okay, we got 6 of Cups, King of Pentacles reversed with 8 of Wands upright. You will have multiple different types of opportunities to create something new within your life. You'll have multiple chances for rebirth. You'll be learning on a level of how to receive, and you'll break away from these, not malicious, that's not the right word, nor manipulative. Materialistic. It just came to me. Materialistic. I don't know why. That was so different from the other two words that I was grabbing. But maybe not a level of like manipulation. But a lack of proper action when it comes to bringing this stability within your life. Whatever this change is that you want for yourself, whether it's, career, love, internal growth, healing, various different levels, this fear of action that you've had, you'll start to see all of these different opportunities that you have for yourself, and you'll start to learn how to receive in a position that doesn't feel... Okay, sorry, it cut me off there, but you'll stop having this fear of change within your own stability. You'll step away from not creating action when it comes to having stability within your life. I'm hearing that you might make better financial decisions for yourself. You'll work away from these poor financial decisions. You'll start to see all of these different opportunities that you have in your life for things to possibly change or for things to change. You'll start to step into this energy of learning how to receive without commitment. So learning how to receive without strings attached. Learning how to receive in a way of they give you something, okay, you don't have to go and now do something even extravagant and thank them for it, right? You can say a simple thank you and move on with your day, move on with your life. You are not going to be held to this level of commitment. And there's this level of greed that I'm hearing that you will be stepping away from. But it's this subconscious greed that you're not realizing comes about kind of with the Seven of Wands energy. It's a subconscious greed that comes about from this pessimistic energy that you have been picking up within yourself of, well, I can't have that. Well, I can't have that. But spirit guides are wanting you to remember that you can have that. But you have to be willing to make these changes. It's going to be... Not me fucking literally embrace change, focus on the positive. That's awesome. I love that. But I was going to say, when it comes to change is painful because change requires loss. In order for you to gain new, you literally have to lose something. You need that space. And pain is loss. Think about when you burn yourself, right? It's painful because you're losing cells. You had cells that were just, right? I can't say the word because of TikTok. I don't know how to use TikTok language here, blah, 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 whatever, right? You are in pain because you just lost cells. You will gain those cells back, and that's what the healing process is. But pain is loss. And think about that. In order for you to have new, you literally have to lose something. So is this goodness that you are calling in, this change that you are being pulled to so much? Sorry, I dropped cards. Is this pain that you're being called so much, so great for you that it's worth losing this thing? It's going to be. Maybe in this moment it doesn't feel that way. Maybe losing this thing or this person. I'm hearing for some of you, this is a person that you're being called to cut off. You literally will not have space unless this is gone. You only have a certain amount of a capacity as a human being. Give yourself enough grace and space to actually hold what is feeding you. If it's not, If they're not, you need to be honest with yourself. You need to lose that thing to have this change. You know what it is. You know what it is. You quite literally, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Spirits, thank you. I'm done. That's the end of the reading. No, it's not. You got called to prioritize inner peace as well. If I could pick up the damn card. Prioritize inner peace. Embrace change. Find your inner strength and focus on your own growth. Oh, I love that. Quite literally. With that sun in reverse, find your inner strength. Focus on your own growth. With the 10 of Pentacles. The whole, like, having that bigger picture, all of those things that you want to have in your life, that, like, level of emotional completion, you can have that. You can have that. Prioritize your inner peace. Being called to call one more healing. One more healing. Okay, 2. Divine fucking timing. Divine fucking timing. Divine timing. You're being called towards places for a reason. These things that are going to happen in your life, the timing of them happening is for a reason. Let this go, this 8 of Cups. You've been working to let this go. Your recent past, your 7 of Wands. When you feel pulled towards a change, know that that change is happening for a reason. And divine timing in the sense of, let's say you go for something that you really, really want and you feel like you're not ready for it. The universe would not be giving you this opportunity if you were not in the place to learn how to hold it. Or even hold it in general. Because sometimes our healing is quite literally through experiences. So on some levels, for some of you, your healing is going to be happening through this experience of learning how to hold this thing or holding it in general, right? That is where you're experiencing that. Some of you feel like you need to be perfect and ready to go and hold on and like be 100%, right? No one is going to be 100% perfect. If you wait for the perfect moment, nothing's going to ever happen in your life. Divine timing. It's happening at the right time. You can't call the perfect time. Your spirit guides are calling the time for you. You will never be perfectly prepared for anything. The divine timing is coming up for you to experience these lessons right now in this time, because you are meant for these lessons right now. But if you're not listening to those lessons, babe, you're just going to keep repeating them. You're just going to keep repeating them. If you're not allowing yourself to experience this change, you're going to keep repeating these lessons, right? I keep hearing various different things for this collective right here. Focus. Where focus goes is where energy flows. Find something genuinely nurturing to focus on. I'm hearing some of you are using a form of escapism where it's not a negative coping mechanism like you used to have, but it's still not something that's truly feeding you towards where you want to go, and you're being called to dive in a little bit more and focus on these emotions and do some like journaling. My nose is so itchy right now. It's like tickling. But do some journaling, some meditation, tapping in and trusting yourself. That's really a lot of what's coming out too, is just trusting yourself and soulmate. So I don't know if some of you guys, this change here is within love. It's kind of some energy that I was picking up on, but I'm keeping this a general reading, not a love reading. If you are resonating with that love, this right here, 10 of Pentacles, soulmate, this person that you're being called towards making this change with, towards starting this change with, may very well be your soulmate if you believe in that level, but also in the same sense, prioritizing your own inner peace and focusing on your own inner growth, you'll start to see who you are in your own soulmate energy, right? Soulmates aren't meant to be like our perfect match. They are meant to reflect. They are meant to mirror who we are so that we can become closer to ourselves, right? It's not about all about love and romance. It's about really coming home to ourselves. It's really what a lot of like soulmate, twin flame energy, I don't always use all of that language, but it's, you know, it came out, right? Anyways, this is your reading. If you do want to book a personal reading with me, you can send me a DM or a text the number that's in my bio and we'll get you booked. But other than that, I'll catch you in the next reading.